Hey everybody, David here, and today I want to tell you my rankings of the superhero movies of 2018. I finally got to see Aquaman this past weekend. If you haven't seen my review for it, go check that out. So this is going to be my ranking for the superheroes of 2018. There's only 9 of them. Please leave down your list at the comment section down below. You know what to do. Criticize me. I don't care. So let's get right into this. This is just going to be for fun. This is my ranking, remember. So you guys don't have to get upset if something I liked wasn't higher or something you hated wasn't lower. It's all about opinions. It doesn't matter what I have on my list. This is just for fun. So you can compare your list to mine or vice versa, whatever. So let's get right into this. At number 9, I have Venom. This is a no-brainer for me. If you've seen my review, I was pretty disappointed with this movie. Tom Hardy was great in it. I did like the relationship between Eddie Brock and the symbiote. But the first 40 minutes of the movie maybe was really boring and dull. And yeah, it didn't happen until they finally merged. So there we go. Moving on to number 8, I have Teen Titans Go to the Movies. This was a really fun movie for me. I actually enjoyed this movie a lot more than I thought I was going to. But for the most part, at the end of the day, they could have put this on direct to video. I don't think it needed to be on the big screen. Would I have seen it on the big screen and not regret it? Yeah, I don't think I would have. I think I would have had a good time in the theater seeing this too. But I don't think it would have been worth it to pay like $13 to... Well, maybe $13 would have been okay to see this type of movie. It was a lot of fun. It was really funny, and some of the cameo voice work was really nice. So there you go. It was a good movie. Now, I never seen the TV show, but the movie, got me a little bit curious about the show now. So I'll admit that. Moving on to number 7, I have Ant-Man and the Wasp. I really enjoyed this movie a lot. I enjoyed all these movies. I think it's been a good year for superhero movies, aside from Venom, which some people liked. I know people are out there love Venom. That's why it's making $800 million worldwide. But for me, Ant-Man and the Wasp was a better movie, and I feel it should have done better in theaters. I don't know what was the hate against Ant-Man and the Wasp. Evangeline Lilly finally getting to suit up. Canadian superhero in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I love that. Look, it was a fun movie, and I thought it was a worthy successor to the first Ant-Man. I actually put Ant-Man and the Wasp, the first two, these two movies, I put them side by side. I think they're both equally as enjoyable and fun. So, moving on to number 6, I have this week's movie, Aquaman. That's right, I saw Aquaman this week, as I said earlier, and this was a lot of fun as well. I could not believe how much, and I was kind of worried about this movie because the reviews were kind of lukewarm. Some people, even the people that liked it, were like, yeah, it has its problems though. But I don't think those problems that the critics are really talking about will affect the general audience. I think people are going to eat it up and love it. Yeah, it's a little cheesy at times, but it's fun. I mean, that's what Aquaman is, right? I mean, you hear the name Aquaman, a guy that can talk to fish and, swim in the ocean. What does he have? Well, he has a lot more that he can do. That's just the tip of the iceberg. I think people should go check it out. So if you haven't, go. Moving on to number 5, I have Deadpool 2. Talk about a worthy sequel, right? First you got Ant-Man and the Wasp, which I thought was a worthy sequel to the first Ant-Man. Now you got Deadpool 2, a worthy sequel to the first Deadpool. I will admit it wasn't as good as the first Deadpool movie, but I thought it held up pretty well. Especially if you watch the Super Duper cut, I thought Deadpool 2 really shows its strength. They really go all out there. There's a lot of jokes that were cut out that I'm like, wow, man, they should have kept that in. I think I like both versions equally. I haven't seen Once Upon a Deadpool, But from what I heard, if you're a Deadpool fan, you should be checking it out because even in PG-13, they get away with quite a little bit. So, with that being said, let's move on to my next movie, which is The Incredibles 2 at number 4. This is the long-awaited sequel to the 2004 hit. I love Pixar, so it's no surprise that a Pixar movie is going to be high on my list. I will say it wasn't as good as the first Incredibles movie, but it is still a worthy sequel. You're going to hear a worthy sequel a lot in this list because it's true. It did live up to the hype of the first movie. I just wish it had some of those tear-jerk moments that Pixar is great at doing. Even the first Incredibles had that. The second one doesn't have that, and it doesn't always need it. Not every Pixar movie needs to be a tearjerker, but I mean, let's face it, we love it when Pixar pulls at our heartstrings. So, moving on to number 3, I have Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, a movie that I didn't think I would have this high on my list. I thought I was gonna enjoy it, but I didn't think to this extent where everybody else is really enjoying it. This is not like bullshitting. This is a really heartfelt love letter to the character of Spider-Man. Not just Spider-Man, but introducing us to Miles Morales, who, when Spider-Man was being rebooted for the MCU, a lot of people did want Miles Morales, but someone like me who doesn't know the character very well wanted the MCU to start off with Peter Parker. That's how it is in the comics anyways, right? It should start with Peter Parker, and then eventually pass it down to Miles Morales. And if you are going to introduce this character to a whole new audience, try it in a different medium first. Like, how did we all get to know Spider-Man and his rogues gallery? It was either through comic books or cartoon shows like me. I learned about all these characters through animated material, and this was a great way to introduce Miles Morales to the general audience, the general audience who have now grown up. And this is a worthy movie for even adults to check out, adults who grown up reading Spider-Man comics or knowing the character like I did through animated TV shows. This is a worthwhile movie, and with a great voice cast and really interesting take on animation. I mean, the animation is something that a lot of people are really talking about in this movie because it's different from, it's not your Pixar or Disney or DreamWorks. This is something with a different style, a different flavor to it, which adds an interesting, unique thing to it, which makes it stand out from other animated movies. Moving on to number 2, I have Black Panther. This movie was a huge juggernaut success. It's getting recognition from the Golden Globe Awards. Hopefully the Academy Awards will follow suit because I would like to see a superhero nominated for Best Picture. And even though Black Panther wasn't my favorite movie of all time, what it did to the culture, I think, deserves that recognition. But yes, it was a really entertaining movie. I had a great time watching it. The special effects obviously weren't the best, but it wasn't supposed to be the best part. It was the characters, and all the supporting characters, and even the villain was really cool, played by Killmonger, played by Michael B. Jordan. I felt Chadwick Boseman did a really great job at playing T'Challa. He was already a great part in Captain America's Civil War, so to see him carry his own movie with great supporting characters like Shuri, I thought was great. So moving on to my number 1, if you haven't guessed it already, Avengers Infinity War. This is definitely hands down my favorite movie of 2018. My favorite superhero movie. And my favorite movie. Spoiler alert for when I do my favorite movies of 2018. Yes, this is a great movie. I've already watched this movie many, many times since it hit Blu-ray. I've seen it 3 times, maybe 4 times when it was in theaters because I can't afford to go see it 20 times like other people. But I did see it in theaters as many times as I could, and then now I can watch it almost every week now that it's on home video. And man, the way this movie came together and how it was crafted amazes me, because this movie should have fallen apart. We've seen superhero movies cram too many characters in one film, but because these characters were set up and built throughout the years, they were able to pull something like this and have them all built and have Thanos be the centerpiece and have all the characters resonate around him was a really smart part of telling the story of Infinity War. And man, if you didn't feel the vibe in the theater with everybody there, like people on the edge of their seats, especially by the end, what can you say? I mean, the Endgame trailer is already breaking records for one of the most viewed trailers on the internet. It's amazing. So I think we know what my most anticipated will be for next year. But yes, Avengers Infinity War was, in my opinion, the best superhero movie of 2018. So guys, I hope you leave down your comments below and tell me which were your favorite superhero movies, from best to worst or worst to best. It doesn't matter. With that being said, I hope you guys like this video. I have to remember to say that. Subscribe to my channel, and until next time, take care.